Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel. And today we're going to be going into some of the best mid-range tools. I'll be going over the different brands, some of the things that they carry, some of the things that certain ones might not, so you can figure out which one's the best route to go for you if you're trying to stick with one or just a couple different brands. So these are going to be tools that are good enough quality for basically everyday use, whether you're a professional or a DIYer, and they're gonna be in that more affordable range. So we're not talking Snap-on or Matco, but we're also not talking your $5 socket set from Walmart. You know, we're hitting right there in the mid-range where it's gonna be great for DIYers and weekend warriors, and possibly getting into the automotive field. You will find some of these to be satisfactory for the automotive field. Now, this is all objective. It depends, because it depends on the type of work that's being done as well as the person using the tools. So if you're aggressive with tools, there's a lot of people like that. Some of them might not hold up well. Then there's some that know the limits of the tools and can make tools last a very long time. So it all just depends on the person as well as the type of work. But all the ones I'm going to be going over are mid-range tools that I believe to be really good quality, and then we're going to hit some of the other ones that are maybe a little bit lower quality, a little bit more affordable, but we're gonna go over the range of the tools that they have, and I really hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down in the comment section, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We aren't going to be talking about Silver Eagle or Williams or Blue Point. To me, those are mid-range. I mean, those are a lot of those tools, not a lot of Blue Point. Some of those are pretty high end. But a lot of the Williams, Silver Eagle, and stuff like that, it's no different than really no different than some of your mid-range tools, just with a higher price tag. Now, it might be easier for some people to warranty, but others not. So it is a mid-range tool. I would consider it with a higher price tag. So first up, if you guys watch my channel, you guys already know that I love Tekton Tools. So that's gonna be first up on the list. Tekton Tools has done a lot in the last 5 years or so. They've been around for a while. They have, over the last 5 years, completely re-engineered so many tools out of their lineup and done great things. They brought a lot of tools back to the USA, so they have a lot of USA tools. Their other tools, they constantly re-engineer and redesign and improve and re-release those to the customers because they want to make sure that they're satisfactory. They also have an amazing rewards program, as well as one of the easiest lifetime warranties that you can ever deal with when not dealing with a tool truck brand. So that's fantastic. If you've watched my videos, you've heard that 100 times, so we'll move on from there. But they have a wide lineup of tools. They don't have specialty tools or like air tools or anything like that. It's strictly hand tools, but those hand tools are of good quality. I use them on a daily basis and haven't had any issues, and that warranty is always there, and it's super easy. Next up, another big one of mine is Gearwrench. Obviously, you guys probably expected both of those to be on here. Gearwrench I've been using for years and had really good success with. Now, Gearwrench does have some of those ratcheting wrenches. It's the only ones that I've ever had issues with. They have some Taiwan and some China, and I had a China set, and they just, the ratcheting mechanism just felt springy, or I don't know, it felt loose. It operated really weird. Other than that, I haven't had any issues with Gearwrench tools. I've really enjoyed them. I used a lot of their ratchets, a lot of their sockets, a lot of their tools. Torque wrench, I've used it all at work as well. They do a great job. Warranty can depend on where you purchase it. Sometimes it can be a headache, sometimes not. But it's like that with a lot of tool brands. Hopefully a lot of them will step up and start becoming more of a warranty process like Tekton, because everybody wants a headache-free warranty. Moving on to another one that I used a lot at my job was Carlisle. Obviously, being sponsored by Napa, we use Carlisle tools, and I had great experiences with them. I would consider them higher end quality. They have a lot of good stuff, and it's not quite that higher price tag of your professional brands. So I've really enjoyed Carlisle over the last like 4 years that I've been using them daily. And the only ever thing that we ever had an issue with was torque wrenches. We're pretty rough on the torque wrenches, and we use them a lot more than your standard mechanic. I mean, that's one of our primary tools is the torque wrench. It's constantly being used at a fast and hard pace. So that was the only issue I ever really had. They're good torque wrenches, just they take a beating. So I really enjoy Carlisle. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the first three tool brands, and let's move on. Next up is another one that when I first heard about them about 3.5 years ago, I had never really heard of them, and that being Capri. I wasn't sure how I felt about them. I got a couple products and reviewed them, and over the long term, they have held up very well. They aren't my daily use tools, but they've held up very well for the use that they've been put through. And I know there are a lot of other reviewers out there and YouTubers that have reviewed these tools and use them on a daily basis and enjoy them as well. But when I first started getting them, they didn't have a huge lineup. They had a very small amount of tools and no real specialty tools, and I wasn't going to buy, when they did get a specialty tool, I wasn't about to buy it because I wasn't sure how its quality was going to be, just because I wasn't very familiar with the brand. Well, now they've been around for a few years, at least to me, and they've really expanded their lineup. So they have a wide variety of hand tools as well as specialty tools, brake bleeders and things like that to do brakes and just small things there. Brake line flaring tools, brake bleeders, a lot of things like that. So it's nice that they kind of got into the more automotive side of it as well, not just general mechanics, hand tools. They've branched off and kind of expanded on that. They also, from what I hear, have a really good warranty process and a rewards program, to where, not like Tekton where you get 10% back in rewards, but when you make a purchase of this amount, you get this for free. You make a purchase of this amount, you get something else. Like, they usually have some pretty dang good deals going on. They also do a lot of their socket sets with the Westling aluminum rails organizers. Fantastic product there, great combination there, well worth the money and very affordable. Next up being channel lock. Now, a lot of people will say that's higher end, but I'm not strictly talking their pliers. Their pliers are fantastic. They're made in the USA. Not the highest finish on them. The finish isn't always the cleanest on the pliers, but they're made in the USA. The finish has never affected the operation of the pliers that I have from them. So they've always performed just fine, and they're very affordable. That's the main thing. USA made plus affordable. That's what I'm looking for whenever I possibly can. And I've had mine for a couple years now, and they've held up great. But getting more into their hand tools, it's more limited. Maybe some wrenches, some socket sets, very generic stuff. Nothing too special about them. They're kind of your mid-range tools. It's not the same as their pliers, but they do offer that. I think it was smart of them to offer that. So I think that would be an okay route to go, but I just wanted to mention channel lock. Next up being a big one that everybody sees on Amazon, that being SunX, and what they're known for. Well, my chair is made from SunX, but everybody knows SunX for their impact sockets. They make a very affordable, great quality impact socket. There's not many others that can compete with SunX when it comes to pricing of impact sockets. So if you're checking for some affordable, good quality impact sockets, SunX is definitely the way to go. Pneumatic. That is also another great impact socket company, or that's what I know Pneumatic for, is their impact sockets. They also make a good quality impact socket as well as a good affordable impact socket. Now, when it comes to Pneumatic, you have to be careful with the warranty. There are a couple other companies out there like this, but mainly Pneumatic. They will not warranty any of their tools purchased on Amazon. You have to purchase Pneumatic from an authorized dealer. So if you're really looking for Pneumatic and want that warranty with it, search for that. If you're not worried about getting a socket warranted or anything like that, you can buy it on Amazon. It's very affordable, great sockets. Just be aware of that warranty. Next up are a couple of others that not a lot of people really look at them for their hand tools, Dewalt and Milwaukee. So I've used Dewalt hand tools and power tools. I've used their power tools all of my life. Their hand tools probably the last like 5 to 10 years. And I have one of their socket sets, like 197 piece set or something like that. Fantastic socket set. Ratchets were a little bulky. The sockets and everything were fantastic. They've held up great. Some of my daily use ones when I need them, and they've held up very well. I also have some of their ratcheting wrenches. Fantastic ratcheting wrenches. They're reversible. They got a very clean finish. They operate really nicely. They operated better than my Chinese Gearwrench. So I've really enjoyed the Dewalt lineup of hand tools. I have their pliers. They're decent. So their ratchets are bulky. Pliers are decent. They're cheap. Dewalt does make some decent hand tools. Milwaukee, same thing. They make some decent hand tools. I don't really use Milwaukee. I use their power tools. I run the M12 lineup. Love it. Love their power tools. everybody knows they make great products when it comes to power tools. Their hand tools are also decent quality, and I believe would hold up fairly decent. I don't purchase them just because a lot of the times that I find them, they're overpriced, kind of like Craftsman. Now, if you find them on deals, and some of their products will be a great price, but a majority of them tend to be a little overpriced. I'm not sure if that's due to them being such a great cordless power tool company, and that they want to keep their prices a little bit higher on their hand tools as well. I don't believe in that. I will pay their prices for their power tools, not so much their hand tools. But that does not mean that they're bad quality. They're just slightly higher than I wish they would be. Overall, good quality though. Those are the main ones that I really wanted to hit on. So if I forgot any brand that you think should be in the mid-range tools category, go ahead, drop it down in the comments for other viewers. Now I'm going to get into some brands that are a little bit lower end than the ones that I just mentioned, but still you can find some decent tools within their brand. Like a majority of the brands that I just told you, a majority of their tools are good. These brands are going to be selective. You're going to have to be careful what you purchase. Not that any of them are horrible, but some of them are not going to last years. Some of them are not going to last rigorous use or anything like that, but some of them will. You just have to do a little bit of research. And hopefully you have a friend that has used them, or you can find reviews on these brands of people using maybe a product that you're looking for. First few up, Husky, Cobalt, Craftsman, OEM Tools. So Husky and Cobalt, I've used Cobalt power tools, pretty decent stuff, haven't had an issue with. I recently, within the last year, got one of their socket sets and wrench sets. It's their cheaper stuff, and they're holding up decently. The ratchet is nothing special whatsoever, but the sockets have held up well. The wrenches, nothing fancy about those, but they've worked well. Haven't had an issue with them. So Cobalt does have some decent hand tools, but you just have to be selective about it. Just like Husky. Husky used to make a lot of stuff back in the USA, or back in the day, they made a lot of stuff in the USA, some sockets, and they've moved away from that. That doesn't mean you can't find decent Husky tools. They still do have some great deals out there, so don't be afraid to look at Husky. If you can get your hands on them, that's great. Also, all the brands that I first mentioned, a lot of their tools will be linked down in the description for you guys. So if you guys want to check out those, they'll all be there for you guys. Next up, Craftsman. Now, I kind of feel the same way Milwaukee and Craftsman, but I feel like Craftsman has really, it's a bad taste in my mouth. Not that they have bad tools, it's just I grew up on a lot of Craftsman USA made stuff and was extremely disappointed with the whole Sears thing and them switching to China. And now they're kind of coming back in force with all these new tools, and they've made some pretty good stuff, but I just feel like it's overpriced. So maybe I shouldn't have put this in the lower quality category, but I feel like, once again, for the price, a lot of the stuff is just overpriced. That's how I feel. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the Craftsman lineup. OEM Tools. I actually really enjoy OEM Tools. I've got quite a few products from them. They're spill-free coolant funnel, a few like specialty pliers and picks and stuff like that. Miscellaneous little items, they've been great. Now some of their products just don't have the best finish, but as far as like some of their kind of entry-level specialty tools have been really good for me. So OEM Tools is definitely a good, affordable kind of entry-level specialty tool kind of company. I don't know how else to put it. The next three, all being from Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh, Quinn, and Doyle. Pittsburgh, well, all of them are kind of like a love-hate relationship, and this really goes back to the rigorous use and who's using them and how often they're using them. I believe some people feel like they've used Pittsburgh and stuff in the professional field and have done just fine. Some people say they broke it the first time they used it. So really maybe it depends on the luck of the tool that you got or how you perform with the tools. I don't know. I just wanted to mention it. It is a lower quality tool, a more affordable tool, but a lot of people still enjoy the tools, so I figured I'd at least mention them. Icon, I'm not gonna get into Icon. I feel like it's overpriced. Yes, it's Harbor Freight's like higher quality stuff. Everybody's beaten Icon to death. You don't need to hear about it anymore. If you wanna know more about Icon, if it holds up in the professional field, search Icon tools. It's gonna be everywhere. So I'm not gonna get into Icon. If you guys love them, great, share it down in the comments. If you've had bad experiences, once again, share it down in the comments. I'd like to know. And then a subcategory that I have are a couple that you always see on Amazon and are worth a mention. Aries and Ulsa tools. I think there's maybe one or two more, but those are the two that I primarily see. And they don't make a huge lineup of tools. They do make a lot of smaller items. They make a lot of organizers, some wrench sets, some screwdriver sets, but a lot of organizers and stuff like that. And a lot of their products come in nice foam organizers and stuff like that. Really good little tools. Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna find all your necessary tools through these brands. You're not going to. But from the items that they do have, a majority of them are pretty decent. So I've enjoyed what I've got from them. I've got a few organizers from them and I've really enjoyed them. So those are the brands that I figured were worth a mention, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If I forgot to mention any other tool brand that you feel falls in that mid-range category, feel free to drop it down below. And maybe in the future when I do an updated video, I won't miss any. That's basically it. Once again, everything will be linked down in the description. A lot of the tools from these main brands will be down there. The ones I have either personally used or believe to be perfectly fine for day-to-day use, as long as you're not extremely hard on tools. If you are, make sure you get something with a good warranty. Doesn't matter what brand it is. So once again, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down in the comment section, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. See you guys next time.